And Union Home Secretary held a meeting with Chief Secretaries of States on Tuesday to evaluate civil defence preparedness. The Home Ministry on Monday asked all states to conduct mock drills on May 7, given the new and complex threats. The preparedness comes following the Pahalgam terror attack on April 22nd. As many as 26 persons were killed in the gruesome attack in Jammu and Kashmir. Prime Minister Modi has vowed to avenge the killings and pursue the perpetrators of the attack and those who took part in its conspiracy to the ends of the earth. And India is conducting mock security drills for the first time since the 1971 war with Pakistan for effective civil defence in the event of a hostile attack. The drill is extended to village level. It will assess readiness and coordination of civil defence forces involving officials, volunteers, NCC, NSS, NYKS and students.
There will be a number of measures taken, such as assessing the operationalization of air raid warning sirens with testing hotline and radio links with Indian Air Force. Testing the functionality of control rooms and shadow control rooms will be done. It will also include the training of civilians, including students, on civil defense aspects to protect themselves in the event of a hostile attack, such as firefighting, rescue, and warden services. Another feature of the mock drill is to ensure blackout and camouflage readiness and the provision for early camouflaging of vital plants or installations. And lastly, evacuation plans and its rehearsal will be conducted and assessed.
All right, DD India's Akshay Dongre has been tracking the story. He is joining us live from the newsroom. Akshay, several meetings are being held. Home Secretary held a meeting with Chief Secretaries of States on mock drills. NSA Doval also met Prime Minister Narendra Modi today, a day before India is set to conduct nationwide drills, security drills, I should say. Tell us about the preparations. What more information do you have?
Well, the preparations, as you rightly mentioned, are from metropolitan cities to even the villages. Air raid sirens, maybe ring as far as the timing of these drills are concerned. Blackouts can be observed in several areas, especially the areas that are bordering with Pakistan. So all of these preparations, as far as operational preparedness, not only of the forces but also of the state forces such as police, other civil defense officials who can be useful as far as any kind of eventuality is concerned, taking a stockpile of the food grains, taking a stockpile of the transportation system, evacuations, transportation of troops and transportation of other equipment that can be useful in any kind of military hostilities. So all of these things are accounted for, and the drills that are going to take place tomorrow is to assess the kind of war preparedness that exists at this point in time. Popularly people have been talking about how these kind of drills, the last time they majorly happened were in 1970s during the 1971 war with Pakistan, in which Pakistan was divided into two. Bangladesh was formed in that war. So it was a major conflict, not only taking place at one side of the country but both the sides. So for example, India, while was fighting with Pakistan on the western front, it was also fighting the Pakistani army at the borders with what was called earlier East Pakistan. So clearly this situation that we are seeing right now as far as preparedness is concerned is quite serious at the level of administrations and at the level of military as well, to prepare for any eventualities. And as we have seen, the kind of meetings that are taking place, the Home Secretary is meeting, as you told in the report, the state secretaries. The National Security Adviser is meeting the Prime Minister. It has been, there have been several meetings with the chiefs of the armed forces. There have been meetings with the Defence Minister, with the Defence Secretary. So all of the people, all of the administrators, officials who are responsible for any eventuality or any warlike situation have already been briefed. They have been asked to be prepared. They have been asked to ensure that in any kind of flare-up of tensions, everything is done seamlessly, and from cyber arena to even the most basic requirements of conflict are being taken care of and are being assessed at not only the city levels, town levels, but also at village levels to ensure that everything is prepared for as far as these tensions are concerned, and in the case they flare up once again.
Also, Akshay, talking about the UNSC closed door session on Monday, Pakistan's anti-India rant at the UN Security Council fizzles out and the meet yields no outcome?
Well, absolutely, it was bound to have no outcome. First of all, it is a non-binding it was a non-binding meeting. Second thing was the kind of meeting that was called by Pakistan was seen as unilateral in nature, because the meeting was called by Pakistan, the allegations were by Pakistan. So if in a meeting both the sides are not calling for a meeting, usually the United Nations Security Council also takes these kind of meetings in a non-serious way. So that is what was supposed to happen. That is what exactly happened. And the kind of fronts that Pakistan was throwing against India at the UNSC closed door meeting fizzled out, because also the world leaders, especially at the United Nations Security Council, are aware of the backtrack of the background of Pakistan. The records of Pakistan as far as terrorism is concerned, it is a country that was for a very long time in the grey list of FATF, and now what we are seeing is once again an embarrassment for Pakistani diplomats who are trying to defend their country against some indefensible acts such as Pahalgam terror attack. Also, the point that Lashkar-e-Taiba, a terror outfit that is based out of Pakistan, took responsibility. At least their front of TRF took responsibility for the attack. As the world pressure mounted, they backtracked, and in fact they blamed the Indian securities of a cyber attack for claiming the responsibility. All of these very childish excuses were supposed to fizzle out, and they did, like it during the meeting, during the closed door meeting of the UNSC. So any future possibilities of Pakistan running back to the UNSC have also been dashed, as the first meeting that took place also not only questioned Pakistan, but there were some serious allegations as far as involvement, even at the topmost level of government is concerned, in the terror attacks against India.
Also, Akshay, last question before we leave you. Tell us, with every passing day, how's the international pressure on Pakistan growing?
Well, it is growing. In fact, yesterday we had reported that Russian President Vladimir Putin had a telephonic conversation with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. PM Modi has already spoken to most of the world leaders as far as the dastardly attack is concerned. Ambassadors of several countries were briefed soon after the attack, and there have been questions that the kind of escalatory speeches that are being given not only by the general of Pakistani army, General Asif Munir, but also at the local level, at the political level, these kind of escalatory statements that are being given involving nuclear weapons, but the kind of involvement of Pakistan that has been there in training and equipping terrorists in the Pakistan occupied Kashmir region, and even in other parts of the country. So the history of Pakistan speaks for itself, and there was always a pressure of Pakistan to act against terrorism, but with now this kind of attack taking place on Indian soil has once again mounted pressure with Pakistan's not only civil leadership, military leadership in question, but also the financial setup of the country in question as well, as a country that is knee deep in debt, is going to be further decapitated as far as their finances are concerned in a possibility of a war with a country such as India.
All right, Akshay, thank you for the time being, but yes, we'll keep coming back to you for the updates.